Hey guys, hope everything's going well. You guys know that drill. Smash that like button, subscribe if you haven't, and comment down below. Follow me on Instagram at AIH underscore sports, on Twitter at AIH underscore sports, and also follow me on my finance channel at AIH Finance. Just type that on YouTube. Okay, so today I wanted to touch base on sports cards, crypto, collectibles, and the recent geopolitical events that happened regarding Russia and Ukraine. I'm not going to get into my own opinions of what's going on in that part of the world. Whenever you get into geopolitics, you tend to get passionate debate, and this is not a geopolitical channel. Now, I will talk about what I believe may happen to certain assets, and I just want to chime in, and I want your opinion on this as well. And this is not investment advice, okay? So just make sure if you're investing in any asset, do your own diligence or talk to your own financial advisor. Okay, so the events that happened this week caught me off guard. I did not expect that to happen. And I did see that this week is the return of Pluto, right? Whatever you want to say from an astrological perspective. Last time was 1776, no lie. And I talked about that in one of my viral videos, I think my most popular videos about history repeating itself. But regardless, we have now geopolitical tension. And with geopolitical tension, there will be sanctions levied. Okay? When sanctions are levied on assets in the United States, what will people do with the remaining funds they have? In my opinion, they're going to go into more alternative assets, and that includes cryptocurrency. And I'm going to get into sports cards in this video as well. Now, I told you one of the worries I had with crypto earlier on was Mt. Gox, counterparty risk. I saw this from the beginning before most people even heard of Bitcoin. And that's why I stayed off to the sidelines. Now, where we're at, all the institutions have backed this. And now we have more geopolitical tension, and more research I've done is that Bitcoin is probably tracing the 5-year Treasury inflation protected securities, aka TIPS yield, which I've talked about in previous videos. So, me, I I'm looking at this as okay, we're seeing this tension in Ukraine versus Russia. What's probably going to be the next shoe to drop? In the coming months, I would say China and Taiwan. I believe this is bullish for Bitcoin, right? Not an investment advice. People ask, what do I think about crypto? I saw this news happen and I'm like, okay, I think this will be the next momentum forward for Bitcoin. Me, I'm going to be trading the ETFs regarding this. I still don't like, with whatever happened to Mt. Gox. I know that was a long time ago and exchanges have improved, but I'd rather just trade some of these options on the ETFs. So that's just my own thing. I know some people have the actual crypto and all of that, but yeah, I just wanted to point that out. Now, regarding collectibles and sports cards, I did do a video on this, and I believe I stated that in the future, that collectibles and sports cards could be actually beneficial uh, when geopolitical events arise because of potential sanctions. I think that was a summary. I have to go look back at that video. Regardless, so here's what happened during the Crimea situation. You had sanctions levied upon Putin's inner circle. And there was research done that some of the billionaires who had assets in the United States, what they did before believe all the sanctions happened, they were going to these art auctions. I think Sotheby and then Christie's. I think these are based out of London. And to avert any of the sanctions, they were just buying collectibles, specifically art. And this industry is not regulated in terms of money laundering to the extent that other industries are. Now, I do believe that Christie's and Sotheby, they were compliant with the government when they were asked about this billionaire, and they provide all the information, and they said that, hey, there's a shell company used to buy this art, so we didn't know. So I believe with more geopolitical tension, some of these art not institutions, but art auctions, they're going to be a little more diligent on who's buying what item. Now, when it comes to sports cards, you don't see a lot of talk about I mean, yeah, you see talks about money laundering, but you don't see the same scrutiny when it comes to individuals who have had sanctions levied upon them. And more people get sanctions levied upon them, they're going to find more ways to get around it. Like I mentioned, Bitcoin is probably going to be one of the options that they will choose. I think the next option that they will choose is potentially sports cards, and specifically the higher end. The modern stuff, no. With these recent events, I wouldn't be surprised that some of these scarce sports cards that are more appealing to foreigners. I'm not talking about uh, football, American football, that is. I'm not talking about some of these other sports, maybe NASCAR, whatever. Uh, They're not going to be buying that, but anything that is appealing to non Americans, who knows what it could be? It could be soccer, it could be tennis, it could be weirder sports, UFC, and the list goes on. And they're going to look at these low population sports cards, and they're just going to pile money into it. And we've already seen these rich guys pile into these weird sports over the past few years. And now, am I going to be putting money into it? No. But this is just trying to predict price behavior. I thought the high end would be falling apart this year, but with recent events, I have to reconsider what I stated about the really high end and specifically cards that are non American based. And we could look at even hockey cards, which sounds weird. You had one of the Gretzky cards go for $1 million. And who's the next guy on the list? Ovechkin. I bought one Ovechkin. It wasn't a highly coveted card. It was one of his rookie cards from 2000. Was it 4 or 5? I don't remember. I think it was the Upper Deck PSA 10. I bought it for $100. I wish I bought more. When my friend just recommended it to me, I just bought it. It's what, 400, $500, but it's not like his scarce rookie auto card, highly graded card. I believe those cards could potentially go higher. And like I said, all this money was piling into art. And sure, we've had all this money go into sports cards the past few years. Some of these scarcer cards, who knows what it could be? It could be Ovechkin. It could be this UFC fighter, Khabib, right? I just lost my train of thought. But yeah, it could be Khabib. And I saw these Khabib cards go for what, over $20,000 on Golden. I thought that was insane. And these were some of his recent cards. On eBay, some of his rookies, the PSA 9s, went for about, what is it, $10,000. So, based on all of the recent events and potential sanctions, I wouldn't be surprised with all this monopoly, not monopoly money, all this money going into just these foreign based cards. Now, we shall see in the coming years if this holds to be true. And once again, this is a market that most people cannot play. But my theory hasn't changed on most modern cards. Those cards will continue to go lower. When it comes to even the cards that we've seen repeated, like the Fleer 86 cards, those cards, in my opinion, will still continue to go lower. You don't have the influencers pumping those up as you did in the bubble of last year. So, yeah, I thought this would be happening down the road, but it just happened much earlier than what I had expected. So when it comes to price action, I would not be surprised if you see people piling into these. And the thing about sports cards, and when it comes to compliance and when it comes to the AML rules, which is the rules about money laundering, I believe, these auction houses are not scrutinized. And the ones that were scrutinized after that Crimea situation and the auctions after that were art auctions. Sport auctions, to my knowledge, have not been scrutinized unless there's talks behind the scenes that I'm unaware of. So you have an unregulated market, and they're not putting the leash regarding who their buyers are. You have to remember that they keep their buyers private, and the only people that we know buy cards from Golden are if they actually admit it. So, long story short, because of no regulation regarding AML, no regulation regarding money laundering, I believe you may see more foreign investment in these scarcer cards, but geared towards what many foreigners like. And I talked about the globalization of the sports card industry. I expect more people around the world to get involved in sports cards. And that, in my opinion, was going to be helpful for the next rebound that I see in sports cards. But on the high end, you could probably see more of that crazy speculation going on. Anyways, guys, I just wanted to throw my own 2 cents on this. I know some of you may not agree, but anyways, leave a comment down below. Smash that like button, subscribe if you haven't, comment down below, guys. Thanks. Bye.